Welcome back, everyone. Joining us next are Kim Polonius, Andrei and Nickl, and Sandy Brueckner, who are going to present us with an interactive workshop on embracing new ways of working together. Kim is a professional life coach and trainer for team performance workshops. Andrei is a Heartfulness trainer, team performance coach, digital creator, and project manager at Linda Company. And Sandy is a business economist who has worked in public relations, marketing, and brand management for more than 10 years. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our event. I leave the floor to you.
Okay, switching on my audio. Thank you so much. And welcome from Kim, Andrei, and myself to that session. And I will share my screen now with you guys. Okay. That should work, and go into a presentation mode. So I hope you all see the screen. Maybe Ray, you could do give me a quick sign if that works.
Sure. Yes, we're seeing the screen perfectly.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for the warm and welcoming introduction, and a warm welcome from the three of us. As said, we have prepared 40 minutes of interaction with you on the topic of embracing gratitude. And with that one, we've been introduced already, but just that you know who leads you through that session. We have Kim with us, being very much a coach and into the topic of heartfulness, I think from just being her over the whole part of her life. We have Andrei here with us, who really introduced me to the topic of heartfulness, which is very close to me because we share a similar lineage. And myself is Sandy, and I will moderate the session, and Kim and Andrei will lead the workshop formats with you guys. So very warm welcome from all of us. What have we planned with you? We have packed a neat little agenda. We will work with Mentimeter. Andrei will share the link into the chat so you can see it, but if you cannot see it, we will go to menti.com and use the code 564785. So the code is 564785. Have, if possible, a little journal ready with a pen or paper. If you don't have a journal, you can just use pen or paper. And we will lead you through 3 parts of that workshop, being the first one on trust and appreciation. Then we will talk about and do a little exercise with you on the power of journaling. And we will finish that session with the art of priming. So take a seat. Maybe you have a lunch still, that's fine. Food is good. So we will provide you with some food for your soul and food for your mind while you're enjoying your food with lunch. All right. But before we dive into the gratitude session, we took a step back preparing for that session because all the topics we just mentioned are very prominent in the way we work. In a large company, Fortune 500, DAX 30. And we want to start off with a question with you. And this is a very simple one. So if you can go to menti.com on the code 564785 and answer these first questions. What do penguins do? And you may say, what do penguins have to do with gratitude and collaboration? You will find out in a minute, but we want to know from you, and maybe some of you know it already. We want to know from you, so go to menti.com 564785 and let us know, what do penguins do? Every penguin hunts alone. Only the male penguins hunt together. One for all, sending one penguin in and then the rest follows. Or only the female penguins hunt and breed. So let us know. I know there are quite some people here. What do you see? What do penguins do? Okay, so there's one coming in. Maybe giving you a couple more seconds. And while you're still voting, and I'm interested to see what you think about that, in the way of how we do the topic of transformation in the company we're working on, we try to use analogies because analogies help people to create stories in their mind and also get pictures into their head. And they also help people to understand and build a common narrative. So the penguins is a very strong story. And I see more and more votes coming in now from you guys. Interesting. So it's still the one for all, sending one penguin in and the rest follow, still seems to be one of the highest, but there's another one coming in, which is only the female penguins hunt and breed. Let's see if there's more votes coming in. Yeah, there are some couple of more coming in here. So while the votes are still coming in, I will solve the puzzle for you. So those guys who chose option 3, only one for all, are absolutely right. Penguins are a very interesting animals, because what they do is when they go hunting, they collaborate. And they collaborate in a very intensive way. So if they want to go hunting, and you see that water hole here, there's one penguin that goes in and tests the ground, sees, is it safe to go into that place? And is there enough food in that area so the rest can follow? And you might find maybe that's cruel, but it's not, because penguins are very wise. They know they can only survive if they are strong as a group and strong as a team. And they use the resources very wisely, because penguins live in environments that are very harsh, very cold, very rough, but they still need to succeed in what they do. And what they do is basically they send one in to test the ground. If that one comes back, the rest goes in as well. So they choose really their resources wisely. And what does that all have to do with gratitude and transformation and teams? And there are some more votes coming in here, I see. And I just switch on to the next one. Stepping a bit back, what the three of us deal with every day in our company is a topic of transformation. And we link it very much to digital, because digital is really changing the way of how we live at the moment, the way of how technologies are coming in, the way of how data is changing, the way of how we what we know of the world, and also the connectivity that is available. So we, for example, here in this room can connect across countries and across generations, across boundaries, across any kind of corona that is there. We can meet in that place of heartfulness. And when we tackle the topic of transformation in the company and linking it to digital, we also asked ourselves the question, so what is it? What makes a transformation successful? And what we came up with over now 2.5 years, almost 3 years of really diving into that topic, emerging into it, it's not about the zeros and ones in the end. Of course, they enable a lot of change, but that's not how people transform. And the question of how people transform is a question of how, of perspectives and of choosing the right methods. So providing perspectives that create meaning within a company, that really say, okay, if I apply that technology, it really creates another purpose. It creates meaning to what we do. And it also is about choosing the right methodologies. And this is a lot about new ways of working. So if you really want to be able to master transformation and really take it into a large corporation or a large group of people, it's really choosing the right methods. And the third most important how is not just methods and perspectives, it's about teams and collaboration. Because in the end of the day, we're all human beings. And if we want to master that transformation, we strongly believe that it only can happen together. In a collaborative way, in a field of we rather than I. But as we are in a world that is basically kind of has two bridgeheads at the moment, one being very much still linked into the old world of doing things, and then there's this generation like you that is already completely into the new. You really need to master how do you cross that bridge, and how do you really create a field and a team of collaborative people. And one of the keys of that one is trust. But then comes the question of how do you build trust within teams? Is that just something you do? How does that happen? And with that one, I want to hand over to Andrei, who wants to introduce you to the theory and also what has been basically lived already in the area of trust in teams. Andrei, over to you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sandy. Yes. To give you a bit of a background, what we do and where we come from, we work for a large corporation and we deal with industrial projects that run over 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8 years. And the key project members, the team, so to speak, for those projects are sometimes from 50 to 100, over to 300 people. And they are meant to perform in a multicultural environment, high-paced environment, in a VUCA world for many, many years. So in the past years, what we've done is we've taken from science, from the high-performing team science, high-engaged team science, the science of happiness, positive psychology, mindfulness, etc. We've taken aspects of that, and we really found out that the number one criteria is what Google found in its Aristotle study. 2012, they started, some of you may know about this study, they started with a vision. They wanted to find out what is this one key aspect, the one key meditator that separates the high-performing teams, the teams that really deliver results, from those that don't succeed. And after 2 years, they still couldn't find out what it was. So they searched not only within their organization and linked organizations, but across the world. After more than 3 years, they couldn't deny what they had found, and that was that the number one criteria by far is what they term psychological safety. What does it mean basically in a team of 10, 20, 50, 100 people, even more? Psychological safety in that aspect is trust on a group level. So when you don't just think that it's good to be connected and to be trustful and to have confidence, but when you deeply feel and you're connected with a state of trust within the team, it means that you can have conflict. It means you can have commitment, courage. You know that you can make mistakes. And although it is a very simple concept, and we all would agree, like in a family context or with friends, trust, connectedness is what makes or breaks a relationship, a successful relationship. It's such a simple concept that even in Fortune 500 companies, in many, many, many projects, and in probably the majority of teams, we fail to take time to use the right methods, to really envision that such a level of trust on a group level will make a difference and can be achieved. So that is what Kim and me, we have been fortunate to design such workshops for large-scale project teams. And we are so grateful, we come to this later, that we've been allowed to experience what it does to individuals, what it does to groups, and how a big group of people suddenly, they transform into a team where there is trust, there is collaboration, and of course there is conflict. So in those new ways of working, what Sandy described, and Sandy is our digital transformation expert, she has led that field with Linde for many years now, is that if we talk about agile methods and agile frameworks like Scrum, other agile frameworks like design thinking or creative problem solving, all of those methods, all of those frameworks, on one slide, when you get an introduction, there's always one slide where they say that there is a certain precondition that it works. And the precondition is always that there should be courage, there should be commitment, there should be conflict, there should be connectedness. And what we found out, those are all more or less aspects of trust on a group level. If you have a deep, deep level of trust within the team, then all of that promise that the agile methods and the new ways of working give us can be fulfilled. So that would be the bridge that combines new ways of working, the agile methods and frameworks, and what Sandy has been speaking about in terms of corporate, cultural, institutional, organizational transformation. And enough of theory. I think we'll now dive into some practical sessions, and trust being also deeply connected to gratitude, a state of gratitude. I would like to hand over to my dear Kim, and we'll connect with gratitude.
Thank you, Andrei. Thank you, Sandy. Yeah, we found out that the science of gratitude is a choice we make. And So hearing thank you, you can imagine every one of us, makes us even work harder and hopefully we love our job more if we hear thank you a lot, even in university or in school, and it makes us feel better. And it's really proven that it's an association with greater happiness, and gratitude helps people to feel positive emotions, relish good experience, improve their health, and build stronger relationships. And that's also one basis for building trust on a group level, what Andrei just presented to you, and where we made a good experience on it in our company and other teams we coached already. And in coaching, where I come from, also we say gratitude is a life changer, and it's an interruption in your subconsciousness pattern. So you live like pattern, we don't really can imagine it every time, and it's in our subconsciousness, and you can interrupt it immediately if you think about when you complain a lot, or you're sad or depressed, and you want to change the situation, and you come to the point that I say, I don't want to complain anymore, then what you're really grateful for, if you think that, it's immediately an interruption in your pattern, because you feel more positive, and it's a also life-changing experience for us, that when you have a routine or kind of something that you, before you go to bed or even when you wake up in the morning, you think about 3 things you're really grateful for, small ones, that the sun is shining, rain is coming, and the plants need the rain, or you're thankful for your mom or your family, your sisters, whatsoever. You think about it, and it changes your life. If you do this every day, I think after 21 days and even after 60 days, you feel more relaxed and more positive, and the emotion changes. So we want to invite you to bring more gratitude in your life in doing this kind of small routine. You can do this in a journal, where we come later. Andrei will explain to you later, but you also can use your mobile phone and put in some things, or share this with your friends, and it will really change your life. It's a mood changer and a life changer. So we want to invite you, and now we brought in also another exercise to you. So grab your journal, and Andrei will talk you through.
So it's great if you have your journal with you, or a piece of paper, or your mobile phone. This is an exercise that we've done also with large-scale project teams. We've also done it with clients in difficult, challenging closeout sessions, multi-million-dollar, claims at stake. We've done that exercise, and it was a game changer for that day, for that session, for that atmosphere, and the connection of the people. So what we want to do is, for the next 2 minutes, we'll remain in silence, and we will do an introspection, a reflection, a contemplation. All of us, also Sandy, Kim, and Andrei will do it, because it is a life changer. And what we want to invite you to do is to really close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and connect with your heart. And now take the next 2 minutes and reflect and introspect on the following question. Looking back on the past 3 months of your personal life, what are you personally most grateful for? So looking back on the past 3 months of my life, what am I personally most grateful for? And just take your time. Don't analyze. Just let it flow and see what is surfacing.
And with the state of mind and whatever emerged while you had your eyes closed, maybe looked at your journal, gratitude is also about sharing. So let the crowd know, what are you most grateful for? And try to put it in one word or two words max. Let everybody know, what are you most grateful for? And I opened the Mentimeter again. The code is the same, 564785. You may need to relaunch the site. And the first feedback is already coming in. Life itself. How nice. So let us know, what are you most grateful for? Share with everybody. Family, health, sharing, heartfulness, change, support. Rely on the universe. Family is obviously a big one. Our community, friends, health, absolutely. My loved ones. What else is coming in? Let us know. Just put in one word or two. What emerged in these 2 minutes of centering and just reflecting? Meaningful relationships. Spirituality, Daji. Parents. So relating to family again. Virtual teams. My home. So a lot of things coming in. Please share. Let everybody know. Great. And Andrei, what emerged on your side? What are you most grateful for?
I'm the one with my neighbors. You know, the past 3 months, I think for all of us have been a very particular time, very challenging time on many aspects. Mm-hmm. But it's also been a time of reconnecting, of rediscovering. And there is, a few years ago, a Christian nun. She gave me a sentence from the Christian tradition, and she said, you know, you should flourish, or you should bloom where you've been planted. And that has really stuck with me, especially in the past 3 months, you know, where we've discovered our neighbors again, our community, our home, our surrounding, you know, where we live, where we breathe every day.
Mm-hmm. Someone even put your name up there, Andrei.
Really? Well, I have a suspect.
All right. There's some more stuff coming in. My life partner, Kim. Anything what is in one word you're most grateful for?
Our family and friends and the time we had.
Yeah. Yeah. It also came very
neighbors.
when I had my eyes closed, family. So I think family is one of the strongest here, with all of you sharing. So the word that pops up even bigger and bigger always shows, if many people put in the same word, then this word becomes bigger. So family seems to be one of the things you're most grateful for. Thanks so much for sharing and being open and honest in this virtual environment with us. And with that one, over to the power of journaling. You already started to, you know, reflect. And one further way of fostering that field of collaboration, that field of trust, that field of gratitude is a very powerful tool that I also just discovered recently, which is the power of journaling. And with that, I hand back to Kim and Andrei, who will lead you through that session.
Yeah, journaling. Well, some of you may think that journaling is a diary, like a log file, you know, every day you write down with whom you spoke, etc., what you did, etc. Journaling is really, it can be anything. So the sky is the limit with journaling. I know people who have 5 journals. They have one spiritual journal, they have one work journal, they have one journal for visions and manifesting. They have a journal for friends and family with whom they want to connect. You know, it depends on the style, on the personality style, what type of person we are. The invitation here is to really try it out, to experiment and experience what journaling does. The promise from scientific studies, from people who have journaled, you know, all their life, the promise is immense, what it can do, the positive aspects, the benefits. It can heal, it can inspire, it can grow and connect ourselves, you know. We're gonna do a few exercises later. I wanna share what personally I've done in the past few years, being on the Heartfulness path, you know. I have always followed the invitation to journal, to keep a spiritual journey. So after the meditations in the morning, I just scribbled down how I felt. Sometimes I just put down that nothing special, very normal. Sometimes I put down, oh, a lot of thoughts, very mundane thoughts. And then maybe I put a few of those thoughts. Sometimes I was fully, you know, immersed. I was absorbed. Then I started to additionally, not only a spiritual journey where I note down dreams, you know, sometimes dreams come, I just note them down and then I forget them because they're in the journal and they're not so important then. I keep a journal for work and for growing, for, you know, patterns, for new insights. Whenever I do a webinar or something, I just scribble down. So I'll show you my journals. I have one spiritual journal, I have one work journal, and I have one for vision. And I'm not religious how I use them, but it's good. It feels great to have those journals and to also sometimes grab the journal and flip back and see what has happened a few months ago, what has happened a few years ago. That's really amazing. I have not met a single person that journals and has regretted it. So it is something like, you know, just making time for it and making space for it. Gratitude, what Kim said. I know that Kim, you're a very advanced journal keeper, because Kim has a consciousness that just uses any pen and paper or just uses, you know, the power of manifestation. Do you want to share, Kim, maybe how you journal, how you reflect for yourself?
Yeah, I'm not like as with Andrei having 3 journals. I also journal wherever I am, like having post-its, write it down. But the most I do, like my routine is really before I get up in the morning, it's a kind of meditation, but it's always what I'm most grateful for, like connecting it's the Heart Math Institute who found out if you connect your brain and your heart, it gives you a good environment, like energy environment, which also that you stay more healthier when you connect your brain and your heart in a good way. And gratitude is one of the most keys to get there, to get the best spirit. And before I get up, after I woke up, I close my eyes and think what I'm most grateful for. And people, situations from the day before, something happening on the day, what's coming up. And I always, what we talk about later, but I always think about who I want to be at that day, what should happen on that day. It's kind of manifesting. If I have a tough interview or have a tough appointment on that day, I think about the result, how I want to have the outcome of this appointment, and it gives me a good feeling. And then I'm strengthened enough to go there, or I feel happier and positive, and everything feels like, yeah, it happened already. When you want something, we talk about this later, but it's really my kind of journaling. It's in my mind more. I'm more this type of journal in 3 different journals.
Thanks okay. For sharing, Kim.
Before we continue, guys, there are already some questions incoming from the audience, and we just want to put them back here. So one of the questions that came in is, What can be indirect but authentic ways of practicing gratitude? So I think, Kim, you already shared one way of doing it, because the person asking it said sometimes mere appreciation or thanks from someone feels shallow.
Yeah, yeah. I think we are all human beings, so we can feel with our heart if somebody is authentic or somebody is putting on a mask, you know. And to me personally, the most precious gift of gratitude is when I just feel connected to people. It doesn't need to be specific. It doesn't need to be event-based or quality-based. It is really a very pure state of connection with people, with places. So it should be very subtle, in my opinion.
But also appreciation for me. It's also, if you appreciate your colleague, your friend, your family, say thank you. If you don't really comes up in your mind what you're most grateful for, then just practice saying more thank you to the people. Thanks for making me lunch. Thanks for helping me with my homework. Thanks for supporting me to what I want to be later or something. So I think saying thank you is also a first start of practicing gratitude, right?
And maybe a sentence, it's a universal law. We only get what we give. Mm-hmm. So if we appreciate people, it will come back. So we should practice appreciating what we have around us and not taking things, and especially not taking people for granted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And maybe one more question that ties into that one, and also making you aware that we have like 8 to 9 minutes to go to that, to enter this session. So there's not a lot of time, but I want to really take up that.
No pressure.
No pressure, that question, because it relates to a lot what we do. And the question came in that said, do you think that silent contemplation and meditation can actually become a common practice in corporate organizations, almost like coffee breaks?
The answer is, it is not a can, it is a is. And we are the testimony at Linde. You know, you don't need to ask anybody for permission, just do it. If you have a meditation practice, be it heartfulness, mindfulness, whatsoever, just sit in your corporation. Just book a meeting room, sit for meditation and spread the word. We don't need to ask for permission, let's do it. At Linde, we meditate Tuesdays and Thursdays, every lunchtime. Just in a meeting room, we sit together, we're silent for 30 minutes, heartfulness, relaxation, meditation. Mm-hmm. Let's just do it.
And we do this 1 minute centering, right? It's a 1 minute meditation. So 1 to 2 minutes before we start meetings, we try to invent this to the big group of managers also. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe wrapping this up and then moving on. Absolutely. So I think tying to your question, a coffee break takes 5 minutes. We do the 1 to 2 minute centering in each meeting, and don't even call it contemplation or meditation, because a lot of the new is new language. And I personally believe, and I think we believe, it doesn't sometimes even need to be called contemplation or meditation, because that kind of, some people are like, Jesus, what is this? Now another thing I have to do. But if you just do it, if you just center for 1, 2, 3, 5 minutes, people just naturally fall in. Okay, Andrei, just looking at the time, power of journaling, how do we continue?
Next slide, let's get into the exercise. Just 1 minute each sentence. So one of the aspects of journaling, the invitation is, what you can do is, it's called sentence props. Oh, there's 1 Mentimeter. Yeah, just quickly, 30 seconds you've got. Just let us know, give us feedback. How often do you personally journal per week? If you don't have a journal, not at all. If you do it, you know, randomly 1 to 2 times. If you do it regularly, then more than 3 times. Yeah, so it's a mixed crowd.
Yeah.
3. Some of you are experienced journalists, and some of you don't keep a journal at all. So the humble invitation is, just try it out. Don't believe anything. Just use pen and paper, buy a journal and use it. Try it out. You know, you can scribble. There is no right or wrong, and you will see what we mean in a couple of seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's enough. Yeah, wonderful crowd. Oh, look at it, 777. Stop it now.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's move
Thank
on.
you so much. We'll
Yeah.
go to the next slide. We're a bit short on time, but that doesn't matter. So we'll do an exercise. Grab a pen, piece of paper, your journal, your mobile phone, wherever you can type. So we have 3 questions. With these challenging times, you know, in this global pandemic, we call it the new normal. It's the VUCA world. It's been like that for a long time. You know, there is more volatility, more uncertainty, more change even, and it's accelerating. So the invitation is, see this sentence, number A, this new normal is, and 3 dots. And now really just write in your journal on your mobile phone, what comes to your mind. Don't analyze, just let it flow. And we will also do it. So the first question, and we will just write for 1 minute, this new normal is to me. Whatever comes up, just write it down in the journal. No analysis, no wrong or right.
And I will time you guys again. You have 30 seconds to go. Just write, this new normal is. Ten more seconds.
Okay. So the next question, and we'll keep on writing, is my personal strengths are. Just write them down. Just let them flow. What are your personal strengths? No analysis. Just write it down.
"30 seconds. What are your personal strengths? My personal strengths are." "10 seconds to go. And then the last one, Andrei.
Yeah, the last question, and keep on writing. And the question is, what will keep us strong as a human community is.
"30 seconds. What will keep us strong as a human community?" "10 more seconds. Write down your last words. What will keep us strong as a human community? Okay. So with that one, I think we are at the end of our I just got a note from the organizers that our time is almost up. I think we started 2-3 minutes later, so let's just wrap up this session. I know we also prepared the priming for you, but we feel like this is a good time to stop.
Yeah.
There's no sharing of the journaling. This is really for you, but take it as a reflection into your personal account. Read again what you wrote. Use it as a tool to take it forward. And maybe some last words from Andrei and Kim on the power of journaling and gratitude.
Yeah.
I want to like build the bridge, because we don't have not enough time to talk about priming, but the journaling can be so powerful to write in your vision of yourself. So if you want to think about you in the best version, and if you have really dreams and wishes, write them down in a journaling. Really, how do you feel when this vision came true? What you want, what you really want from the bottom of your heart, write it in the journal or on a piece of paper, or make a vision board with pictures and everything you want to wish and have in your life. And then it can come true. So the power of thoughts is proven that this is such a powerful tool. So that's the point. Then we have a bridge to priming, because you can use the journal to write the vision of yourself, your dreams come true, how you feel, how you look, how you smell, what you see. So really, this is a good routine to also do priming in your journal. So now some words for priming.
Yeah, thank you so much. Not much to share, just saying thank you for this session. It's been a wonderful experience. All the best. Be courageous, be committed. Connect with a state of gratitude, connect with everybody around yourself, and then let's move this thing forward together.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Kim, Sandy, Andrei. It was really a lovely session. Thank you so much. Really a heartfelt gratitude from all of us to you.